I'm Jesse De La Peña, and this is my conversation with Chicago MC Robust, talking about the 20-year anniversary of his album Potholes and Our Molecules, and the celebration happening at Reggie's Rock Club Saturday, March 2nd. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I'm Jesse De La Peña, and today I'm speaking to one of my favorite Chicago MCs, Mr. Robust. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, Jesse?
It's been a minute, man. I don't see you as much. We used to run into each other a lot in Pilsen back a few years ago.
Yeah, good times over there.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss the neighborhood. It's definitely evolving. I miss Harvey's. We spent a lot of time down there. What's going on with you? I know there's a big event coming up this Saturday, the 2nd of March at Reggie's, and this is dating back, I think, 20 years. It's a celebration of one of your albums. Is it your first?
It's my first commercial release that we put out on Galapagos 4. It was an independent record label. It still is in Chicago. I was featured on Qwel's album, his debut solo album, and then they had asked me to do an album, and so it came out in 2004. I had put a couple tapes out back, 1999, 2001. I had some production from The Moment, my guy Meaty, Ogre, Dreas.
I know there was a particular album, maybe, I don't know how long it's been, but I wore that out on Vocalo, man. I know I definitely programmed, it was like one of my favorites.
A homeless man carries 1,000 soda cans. Cross town on his shoulders just to hold a gram. Get a photo, you can put it on a postcard. It's a cold-hearted world when it goes dark. Stars shine, full moon lights the skyline. Someone shoots a single mother in the drive-by. Shed a tear, but that doesn't get you anywhere, man. Do you have any spare change?
So Potholes and Our Molecules was my first album. The last album I did, it was called Filling in the Potholes. It was basically there's the potholes now. I want to make good on what I did at the beginning, I guess, if that makes any sense. You put out your first album, you're like, oh man, I could have done this differently. So it was filling it in. This is what I really wanted to make happen.
Who did most of the production on that one?
That was a mix. We had a bunch of different guys. That's why I did it, because I had been just doing albums with people up until then again, just one producer. And Potholes, the first album, I had a bunch of producers. So I kind of did the same thing and just picked the best songs I had. The last album I did, between Filling in the Potholes and the last one I put out on G4, there was 10 years or something like that. 8 years, because it was 2012 it came out. And the last one I did was with Max Julian. It was called John Bovey.
I'm excited to see the lineup you put together. Our buddy Shazam Bangles is on the DJ controls.
Okay, so we got Qwel on there. Me and him spent a lot of time. I think we did maybe 12 tours together, between the U.S., Europe, East Coast, West Coast, all that. We got this guy named Defcee, up-and-coming guy from Chicago. He's doing big things, I think, with the Closed Session guys. And we got Max Julian. That's my buddy. I known him since we were 14 years old. And he's got an album with this guy named I Am God. Yeah, I Am God's got a lot of albums out. Him and Max did an album and maybe 3-4 years ago. And it got played on DJ Premier was playing it on his radio show and everything. I wanted them to perform that album because I was a big fan of that. Max is my guy. We got Nightwalker, AM Early Morning. I've known Nightwalker for about 10 years now. We used to, live 2 blocks away from each other for a number of years. And we got a couple songs that we did, worked on a little EP a while back. So him and AM Early Morning got an album, and I enjoyed that album. So I figured, let's get both of them on there doing that together. And then I asked Dreas from the Grand Rapids Soul Club up in Michigan. He used to live out here when he was in college and a little bit after. I think we met the first day he moved to Chicago or something like that. We were just at a record store. We ended up at a Juice and Rhyme Fest show. It was a Polish banquet hall, break dance party out by the Brickyard or something like that. And we've been friends ever since. He produced on the album Potholes and Our Molecules. And then I got Meaty Ogre. He did a majority of the production on that album as well. I've been roommates with those guys, and we've been all over the world. Meaty DJ'd for me in Europe.
Who were the guys behind the label? I met those guys. I did some scratches on that.
Yep, up there. Yeah, that was the Island Resort, we used to call it, the Galapagos Island Resort. Yeah, Anacron, I think Murs was up there, this guy himself. I think DJ Peña was on that album too. The guys who started it, Jeff Kuglich, Off-White, DJ White Lightning, and Josh Grotto, who was the artistic director. He actually designed a flyer and designed, my first album cover along with this guy named Dimes, who's a pretty well-known graffiti writer from Chicago.
Well, I'm excited to see you back out here because I don't get a chance to get out.
Yeah.
And, the scene is ever changing, a lot of new blood in the scene, but it's great to see people who've been around still active. So I'm super excited that this is all coming together and seeing stuff like this happen.
To be honest, I don't get out as much as I used to. There was like a time in my life where I was like doing a hip hop show, I think like once a week. They were good shows going on. It was like, sometimes you'd be at a well-known venue. Then the next week you're in some like basement party in a Mexican restaurant. And the basement party was more cracking than the regular show,
In more recent years, I know you put out some music not too long ago. You stay putting out music. I follow your Bandcamp and all that stuff. I got the 45. Much love on that.
Oh, yeah.
I play that from time to time with, what's the gentleman's name?
Doug Shorts. Doug Short. Yeah, that's my guy. I went out to Santa Ana with them, the big Funk Freaks parties they throw out there in Orange County. And they booked them for the anniversary party. It was like 2,000 people out there. And he asked me to come out, rap on there. I did a little, backup dancing and whatnot. Put on some tuxedos, and we had a blast, man. We had a blast. We got some new music, me and him. We've been working on as well. So that should be coming out. I'm gonna send it to you in the future.
So how can people find out more information about this particular event? I definitely want to encourage people to come out and support Chicago artists, Chicago hip-hop. It's this Saturday, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could go on Ticketmaster. You could go to Reggie's Rock Club website. The name of the event is Robust Potholes in Our Molecules 20th Anniversary Party. You type that into Google or just type in Robust Reggie's. It'll pop up. You can buy tickets right there. You could show up at the door, buy a ticket there. There is a link. If you go to, Robust Chicago on Instagram, I do got a link in my bio to get the tickets. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to everybody, that helped put together this album. Shout out to Jeff Kuglich for, helping me get the show set up. And, he's always been like the tour manager, the tour booker, the booking agent, the record label owner, worked at Crosstalk Distribution, got the records out all over the world. This album, we were in France. When I was out there, they had a display at, the record stores, and they had my CD next to like 50 cents in the listening station, around 2004. It blew my mind because that wasn't happening back here in Chicago.
Yeah, it was definitely a distinction between underground and commercial, but at the end of the day, it's all good music,
Yeah, man. And I just want to give a shout out, Qwel, Defcee, Max Julian, I Am God, Nightwalker, AM Early Morning, Dreas, Meaty, Ogre, and especially DJ Shazam Bangles,
Yeah, he's on the Wheels of Steel that night, taking up the DJ duties.
Yeah, he is. And he's going to be playing some Adriana Fur, edits.
His mashups. He always cracks me up.
Yeah.
With those, the CarX one. There's a bunch of Chicago-centric commercials that he incorporates into his kind of reworks and does them live. Well, it was good catching up with you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you reaching out and, getting me up here and doing the thing.
Yeah.
Vocalo Radio, baby.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'll see you up there. And anybody that want to check out the show, pop in, have a good time. It's going to be a party.
All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Love it all. Cause it all starts with a feeling from hearing a song and a singer saying something so real that it couldn't be wrong. And it sort of steals the corner of your soul for the moment in time, only to fill your heart with so much love that it opened your mind. So find the diamonds, rough and cold mines for old time's sake, with no time to waste in this world. When you know it's a goal for mine stayed until we could kill the hate with some love from up above.
I'm Jesse De La Peña, and that was my conversation with Chicago MC Robust, talking about the 20-year anniversary of his album Potholes in Our Molecules, and the celebration happening at Reggie's Rock Club Saturday, March 2nd. You can find more information at Vocalo.org. And for other features and interviews, you can go to Mixcloud.com/Vocalo Radio. Thanks for tuning in.